Graz, correct me if I'm wrong.
Let me know.
Isn't eStar the team that placed 16th or 15th out of 17?
Sir, they had a very bad split.
they didn't do very well.
Yeah, so like ultimately, you know, this team, while not a lot of expectations were on that team, this player, Xiaobai, does have a you know, a decent amount of experience playing in LPL. He is, as Clement would call him, a blue-collar top laner, as he is definitely going to be playing a lot of weak side. He's gonna have a lot of people raining down ganks on towards him. That's the expectation, but he could take it. Xiaohu being in the mid lane, I mean, he's been flexing a little bit, a tiny bit, but we know his career, a wealth of mid lane experience on the highest stages of them all. So,
right.
But I do want to say that RNG, we've seen some sloppy gameplay as we go into this draft. I want to see some tighter gameplay from them and make it a contest.
Yeah, Xiaohu, one of the few players to be able to say that he has won a split and claimed a trophy in 2 different roles, right? Like, the guy is obviously very impressive in both of those roles, but doing this kind of a swap really shows that RNG is probably going to be playing this one fast and loose, and I am about it. They do not ban Rumble on red side. I will always hate this. I just think Rumble is so broken, and I never like teams giving him away like that, but Pentanet does like it. They will first pick the Rumble here for themselves. They've also got Alistar, they've got Urgot. Their opponents, however, going for the Udyr, going for the Nautilus, and locking in that Kaisa.
Another Nautilus game there for Ming, and it's also going to be combined. We've seen this combination of the Kaisa Nautilus, the great setup for a dive in towards the backside. Even, you know, Rumble is going to be feeling a little bit of that, so I'm expecting him to go stopwatch at some point to just deal with that assassination potential.
Right.
But yeah, RNG is definitely going to be taking this chance to prepare for the next stage of the tournament, in the Rumble stage, where honestly, if there are going to be a few times where they need to be on stage and ready to deal with some picks. If they think that there's a way for them to deal with the Rumble, then you better try it out. And it seems like this is going to be the game for them to do that.
Raz, you think that the event planners for MSI and the designers for the game are actually both 5-head, and they named it the Rumble stage because they knew that Rumble was going to be at the top of the meta for this patch? I just now realized that. That entered into my head, and I just immediately felt like a genius.
The conspiracy brain that I have in the back of my head is telling me you've got something there.
Oh, hell yeah. So we'll run with that. But right now, RNG is running with the Gnar pick here in the top side for Xiaobai.
All right, and he's going to be dealing with what's Biopanther's go-to pick. It feels like he's insanely comfortable on the Urgot. He's played it when it's not an Urgot meta, when it's nowhere near the pick. And speaking of picks that we don't see very often.
Ooh, okay. They're saying, okay, you guys are going to have a beefy front line. You've got a Nautilus, you've got an Udyr, you've got a Gnar. Well, we've got Vayne. And if Vayne hits 3 items, all 3 of y'all are dying in 6 autos.
You've seen this domestically. Vayne versus very much like Udyr-centric comps that don't have the dive to go straight on top of you. And also, when you go up against Kaisa, it's a great matchup for Vayne later on in the game, where she can deal with Kaisa on side lane very effectively. And in team fights, Udyr is going to have a very bad time. Same with Gnar as well. As long as they can track where Gnar is, if he's not coming in a flank position, and they're just going straight front to back, very easy. And also, remember this, alongside the Urgot ultimate, you just find that one frontliner, be it the Nautilus, be it the Udyr, they just die nearly instantaneously. So great composition here from Pentanet.
Okay, so Pentanet will have a Vayne composition. They got an Orianna and an Alistar to keep him protected here in the team fights. Some powerful AoE coming out from Rumble, who's also a top-tier pick. Over on the other side, the composition is going to be rounded out with Ryze in the mid lane here for Xiaohu.
Ryze, it's a crying pick. It's a Xiaohu pick. It's just an RNG
It's an RNG pick, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do so well. I remember casting when I was in 2018, and it was always about if RNG has a huge advantage with a Ryze, they're going to be the most creative team on either drop shipping on side lane or just drop shipping the boys on top of Baron and just rushing it. So you have to respect them. They're ultra creative on it.
Okay, so this game, remember, Pentanet wins, they're out of the group, everything ends here. RNG wins, they manage to walk away from this first group stage with a perfect record, and then we move on to a tiebreaker afterwards between Pentanet and the Unicorns. We'll see how this shakes out. Pentanet obviously coming off a very hype win, managing to do the push-up, no, not the push-ups, it was crunches, underneath the enemy Nexus turrets as they dunked them with a Zed and just styled on the Unicorns of love, and we'll see if they can keep that momentum going here against RNG.
And they did it with the most unexpected members. When I watched this team domestically. Biopanther, while he is a weather top laner in the LCO in Oceania, he's always, to my mind, been a great weak side player who can be a fantastic team fighter. And when you see team fights like that, you're like, wait a minute, you can do a lot more. Like he looks fantastic earlier on today, and they're going to be relying on him and his Urgot to do just that going into this game versus RNG.
All right, here we go. Taking a look at everything across the table here. We got teleports in mid lane, teleports in top lane. Over there in the jungle, Dark Harvest for Rumble, very standard stuff. Down in bottom, everything's looking pretty much par for the course here. Don't see, okay, one difference worth noting. We've got Exhaust for Decoy, Ignite for Ming. So Decoy especially wanted to make sure that if any of these high damage dealers are able to get on top of the Vayne, that he can protect them better later on.
Great decision. I love seeing Exhaust being picked up in moments when you're dealing with a Tristana or Kaisa that has very much a one-track mindset to dive and to find those windows. So great call for Decoy, so expect him in team fights. Watch out for those moments if he gets that Exhaust on towards Gala.
Yep. Okay, here in mid lane, you can see RNG. They'll clear out a single ward, so a nice little bit of extra gold and EXP there for Xiaohu. Not a lot, but hey, something, something. And we'll see nothing else really happen here at level 1. Doesn't look like we're getting any invades, or at least not any early invades. Instead, RNG grouped up for a late invade, now entering in, but that ward placed down by Pentanet is going to see exactly what is happening. RNG will walk into the red buff and find nothing but the buff itself waiting for them.
Beautiful. I love the fact that there is this defensive ward, recognizing that the level 1 from RNG allows them to do this. We've all seen those games. Domestically, even the better teams that we've seen don't place those wards. Okay.
What?
You don't have to do that.
The hell?
He is on a ward, and he's probably expecting to get challenged on him in doing this, but yeah, all right, okay. He's just saying I'm never going to see the enemy jungler until my flash comes back up, so I'm just hard clearing.
Okay, well, Pabu is just flashing over the wall. He's ready to go. He smites it. Here. Moving on to the chickens. He can burn through those super quickly with the Flame Spitter. Looks like we're going to see both junglers just clearing out the enemy quadrant that they start in. Does Wei want to go for a play down here, though? Praedyth and Decoy are far enough away from the turret, but I highly doubt that he wants to go in for this.
Yeah, I don't think so. They can always push them away from hitting level 2, but it is an Alistar. You're also dealing with double teleport, and mostly, expecting Chazz to be the one that's TPing, so I think this is decently defended. And to the point that we made, I mean, exactly. This is the mentality that Pabu has, that he's just going to be perma-clearing on a split map from Wei. So if you're recognizing that, there's not going to be much jungle interaction, so realize that he doesn't need the flash there.
Like to see RNG taking advantage of that level 2 power spike down here as soon as they've got it. Pabu will just walk through lane up here in the top side. Doesn't want to try a botched dive onto Xiaobai. There's not really any chance of that working considering the Gnar bar is nearly full already. But a full clear of those enemy quadrants, like I was already talking about, you can see Wei is ahead of the curve here in terms of jungling. 21 farm compared to the 12 of Pabu, who has now made it back into his own jungle.
And so this is the concern that I have for Pentanet, and they have to be aware of this, is that Xiaohu has been doing an incredible job getting priority through mid. He's going to have his TPer come back with a tier as well. This dive is always doable. The wave is slowly stacking from Gala and Ming consistently, and so if you're Decoy and Praedyth, you have to be prepared, letting your team know when you're in danger. So I'm looking at Rumble, who's on the opposite side of the map, and this play is always doable. Remember, teleport here from Ryze. He can make this happen on Wei's dive timer.
Okay, here it is. Level 3 hit for Decoy, but not for Praedyth yet. There we go. There's that last minion that he needed. Wei is still hanging around. If nothing else, he's ready to cycle his opponent's camps. Udyr is very, very effective at doing this.
Yes.
As soon as you see those chickens spawn, as long as you're there, clear them out in a couple of seconds, stay ahead of the tempo.
And this is just great defensive wards from Pentanet. This is the lessons that they've been learning throughout the tournament. Not only the level 1 ward that caught the invade happening to begin with, but now they know that Wei is on the enemy Raptor, so Rumble can respond here, and they know that a dive is always doable. So, Wei's always leaning and seeing if it's possible, but Praedyth is never getting chunked out here. This might be the window.
Okay, there they go. Dredgeline finds Decoy. Immediate flash away, but the follow-up lockdown's got him, and it's first blood over to RNG. But with the TP showing up, can they find the punish? Biopanther arrives, but he's not in any sort of a condition to fight this 2v3. Pentanet, they lose out on the first blood. Their opponents are the ones to take that honor, and Biopanther's teleport nets nothing.
Yeah, conceptually, I understood it. but now Ryze is joining in on the fun.
Oh no.
RNG wants that double down.
Oh no, here we go again. It's Ming starting it off as he likes to do. RNG now having to get all the way out of town. Xiaohu's down to 200 HP. Chazz is going in, needs a little bit more damage, and Wei is down. Praedyth's going to be traded back here with a 1-for-1 in this extended fight. Chazz trying to escape. Xiaohu follows it up, grabs the damage. 4-2 game for RNG.
Insanely good from RNG side, but at least Pentanet is fighting back. From the very beginning, you were thinking that Pentanet knew that they needed to defend a dive. That was just a straight up gank that happened through Tribush, and you are insanely happy if you're Xiaobai. Look at them waves that were crashing up top lane while the end, the end of the play went through. So taking a look at the new Axe Effect replay here, this was the TP that came through from Urgot. He definitely expected Alistar to live a little longer, but a great setup there from Ming to get the flash and auto attack stun. Once the teleport comes through, RNG wants to be the one that pieces out, but a great condemn there from Vayne keeps Wei interested. It's RNG though that they recognize that they have to commit to the fight if they want to get a trade off of that one, so they get the kill on Praedyth. Overall, it's still a great fight from RNG. They get the full deny on the wave top side, so Biopanther is going to be behind at least a little bit with how the lane's been going, but also looking at towards the bottom side of the map, Ryze nets himself 3 kills.
And Ryze is coming right back in, ready to go again. See you later, Decoy. They have found their man. RNG, 5-2. 6 minutes in this game. Wei isn't done yet either. He's just going to be waiting around in the brush, gets the bear stance slap. Praedyth loses half HP. And Raz, you called it, man. You were talking about setting up this dive, doing it whenever you want, making this happen over and over again. And what are they doing? They're going bot. They're taking a break. They're going bot. They're taking a break. And then what are they doing? They're going bot. And they're making it work.
And that's the scariest thing, because you know what RNG is going to be doing miles away. If I can see it, definitely Pentanet sees it from the level 1. It just sucks that you're playing defensively on lane long, but they couldn't play, that safe for that long. Ends up being a great timer from Wei and Ming finding that one window of opportunity. So they were doing a great job up until that moment, and now RNG's ahead.
7-minute first Drake for RNG. Decoy comes over the wall, looking to lock down Ming here. Xiaohu rotating over, but Praedyth has also joined. As soon as the equalizer's called in, Xiaohu's like, okay, this isn't worth it anymore. Backs away. Pentanet finds their 3rd kill of the game.
Yeah, finds a straggler in Ming. Ming just chilling, just trying to kill the last ward before he hops out with the rest of his team, but great punishment there from Pentanet. And I was a little concerned coming into this game because the usual Rumble games that we've been seeing have a wealth of CC to help him out in great setup overall. The setup here is an Alistar looking for a dive here.
Okay, Gala's in trouble. Killer Instinct to get himself away, and the Condemn follows it. The Condemn was casted as it would have knocked him into the turret, but the Killer Instinct goes off first, so Condemn just knocks him further away to safety. Nice escape from Gala.
That was beautiful, and honestly, I'm going to look back at that later on to see if that was a reaction from the Condemn because of just how well Gala is as a Kaisa player. He's insanely good. This is his best champion by far, and just seeing that, really well done. You got to give him the respect.
Oh no, Chazz. This is not a good look here. Oh, there comes the Udyr. A nice shockwave will buy him an extra moment, but a moment's all he's got. Xiaohu unstoppable here on the Ryze.
This is his mid lane game. He's just warming up.
He's 5-0, dude. He's 5-0.
He's too damn good. This is definitely Xiaohu's team, and he's making them know here comes the engage.
Okay, Decoy's gone in. Wei's in some trouble. Pulled right back into the grinder. Get blended, my friend. Biopanther takes the kill.
It's a yes. And the question of will it blend? Pentanet, great challenge. A lot of teams will just let teams know, thinking, okay, getting them in their own heads. Like, do they know that they could do this, et cetera, like giving them too much respect. Pentanet is not giving them that much respect. They're challenging them when they need to, and they're still in this game.
Pentanet now shoving up here in the top side. You got Decoy having made the rotation up. The AD carries are left to their lonesome. The supports want to be playmakers. They want to roam. They want to set things up around the map. So that just means it's time for Kaisa and Vayne to farm it out against each other. But Raz, if we're talking about farming it out, we got a bit of a problem here in the bottom lane. 37 farmed to 76.
Ooh.
That's not playable.
That hurts. It's a typical Vayne game, if you ever know.
Oh, no.
Get the games from Vayne or Yasuo where they get, all they need to do is get out of lane. Can't do it. Great focus from RNG to put him behind, and they've done a great job. Praedyth needs some time. a lot of time.
Well, Pabu doesn't have any time at all. Tries to flash over the wall to stay alive, but the last auto attack is already in the air.
Okay.
It follows after him, and say goodnight to the Pentanet jungler.
At some point, we might need Dark Seal being picked up from Xiaohu. He's definitely stacking up kills on kills, and he's really close. I think off this base should be close enough to get, you know, his mythic item. So if he is able to get it, that means that RNG is just going to permanently play around him. That's an extra utility now that you've added onto yourself with Everfrost. So these are the type of things you need to watch out for. Pentanet's going to be recognizing that, and I think they're going to give him the next dragon that's coming up in 1 minute and 30.
Gala just continues to farm up down here, playing safe, last hitting, not shoving the wave excessively, just doing whatever needs to be done, recognizing that the team is making moves elsewhere on the map. Ming has finally made his way back down to the bottom lane, as has Decoy. Back in mid lane, Chazz on the Orianna. Despite the fact that he's nowhere near Xiaohu's impact on the game, as Xiaohu has 6 kills, at least Chazz is keeping the farm close.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's in a game like this where the Ryze is so impactful. He's already got that Everfrost completed now too. It's hard to compare really the other mid laner to him just because Xiaohu is defining the game.
He's doing so much here. And also, RNG, they're honestly playing one of their best games today, where I'm looking at the setup for Dragon, it's perfect. The huge stacking wave setup from Gala, as I'm sure he's trying to find a base timer here so he can get his mythic, come back onto the map. It's Praedyth that needs to find his base, but because he's so far behind, if he doesn't, then this is just an instant lost fight from Pentanet. So from RNG's side, really good setup to get vision here before Pentanet even gets onto the map.
And with this second Drake being a Cloud Drake, RNG knows the soul will be either Infernal or Ocean, so continuing to stack these neutral objectives is guaranteed to be a massive reward here. They're in the enemy jungle. Pabu knows it. It's so scary to walk towards your own red buff at this point in time. It's about to spawn, but there's so much trouble tied to it, man.
Yeah, it's like a playthrough of any Resident Evil game. You know it's there. You know what's coming. It's just that you don't want to walk to the next level. You know that RNG is going to be in full force looking for it. Close to look for a dive. Praedyth is... He didn't even get the base off. He recognizes that they're not even going to get a chance for this fight.
Yeah, there's no way that they are going to contest this second Drake. There's just no point in it. The Drake dies. It'll be an Ocean Soul here yet again. Praedyth still having final hour, still having his flash. RNG's brought the whole party, though, but Pentanet's doing the same. Teleports coming in from both sides. Ming will be your target here for the start, down to 250 HP. RNG backing everybody out. It is a 5v5 in the bottom lane at 12 minutes.
That was a... While they were channeling the double teleport saying, maybe we don't want the fight, RNG had an exit strategy very easily to get towards the tri-bush, and so that's just 2 wasted teleports on the side of Pentanet. At least they defend Vayne there, but I don't think they were ever going to dive. Now that's going to be a mid lane turret there for RNG.
Very, very good use of the Realm Warp. As soon as they notice the bottom lane play has fizzled out, that everybody on the whole map is down there, well, wait, that means everybody on the whole map isn't anywhere else. Immediately Realm Warp 3 players and a Rift Herald over to mid, but now Wei decided to stick around, try to steal some things, and he gets put in the blender too. Biopanther grabbing his second kill of the game.
That's the second time in the same location. He literally died next to the last chalk that was on the ground that was drawn out for him. He needs to stop this. This is too much greed. I mean, they're getting a lot on the map. He isn't like doing poorly this game, but you can't just be giving them like that.
No, 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 no. But honestly, even if he has, it's still an incredible lead here for RNG. 4,500 gold, man. 14 minutes into the game. They got both the Drakes. They got the only turret so far. They got the only Rift Herald. And now Pabu will pass off that blue buff over to Chazz. But man, it's so hard to find a way to win a fight against a team like RNG that's always making sure that they're bringing everybody that they need to guarantee that they've got a good fight. They're always playing aggressively, they're always warding aggressively, and they're always looking for that next PvP moment.
And so when I'm looking at Pentanet and what they have done, I think it's been great. Like, they're always setting up for what RNG is going to do because they know that they're not going to set up a play themselves. So if RNG are going to be the one that's setting up for looking for a dive bot lane like we've seen, it's Pabu and Decoy that are waiting for that to happen so they can call in the cavalry. So they're recognizing what the next play is going to be for RNG, and they're trying to find an opportunity off of it. It's not happening because of who RNG are, but it's still a good look and what they need to do going on in the rest of this game.
Okay, Pentanet dropping the equalizer from Pabu, just trying to clear the wave. They don't want to lose a second turret, but the equalizer doesn't have enough damage here to prevent that. They're going to try to allow the turret to kill the cannon minion at least, deny some extra EXP and gold if they can. Also, doing the same thing on the top side, Raz. The turrets are crumbling everywhere.
It's a lot of walls falling down right now at the same time. It's one of those unfortunate aspects where RNG is saying their strong side's top, but it doesn't really matter with how weak Praedyth is this game. They've done this before. RNG, when they went up against Unicorns of Love and it was the Kassadin, they just played around the Kassadin and knew that that was just going to be the hole on the map. And so RNG is recognizing that, and they're taking everything they can.
RNG is just a force of nature, man. This team, so damn good. 7-0 in this group. It's looking like it'll be an 8-0 after this one is done with the lead that they've built for themselves here in the first 15 minutes. Hard to imagine how Pentanet can find a way back into this that doesn't involve a large throw from their opponents. Biopanther level 11 versus the level 9 Wei. Now, of course, Wei knows that he's not going to win this fight all on his lonesome. He's got plenty of backup showing up. Ming will find Pabu here in the jungle. Biopanther tries to get away. Gala's coming in there. There's your killer instinct into a Cathian Rain. There's your double kill. And there is RNG.
Man, just overextended in the top side of the map, and RNG is ready to just pounce on them. This is great play overall, great map presence, and RNG is able to just recognize when they're taking a step too far. And an added point to this, Frostfire is the pickup here for Wei. I've seen a little bit here and there in the LPL, and I think this is mostly as a reaction to the nerfs that we saw to the usual mythic item there, the tank for the Udyr. So it's interesting. It's just overall more utility for the team to catch up to the target that they have.
Right. It doesn't give you that same initiation potential. Yes. It doesn't give you that same gap close, but it does provide the ability to stick to the target, as opposed to the Kim tank that did take a pretty hefty nerf. I mean, they had to nerf the thing a couple of different times, but here we go. Replay of exactly how Biopanther found himself in a coffin, and then down here, you can see Pabu's heart was in the right place. Unfortunately, RNG's champions were also in the right place.
And that's the difficult thing. Even if you're looking to defend them on the play that they're making, they still have mid lane prio, so the full squad's going to be there, including the AD carry. So Kaisa's going to be there much faster than you would have expected, and it's Pabu that dies because of all of that. So hard. Even as I said earlier, the one condition that Pentanet has is to try and recognize what RNG's play is and try and bop it, but that was just an unsuccessful attempt at it.
And here's our third Drake of the game. RNG with total control over the Pentanet jungle means that this Drake will not be contested either. Wei can secure that one for free. Down here in bottom, it's Gala finding that W onto Praedyth, who will manage to escape without any further threats upon his health bar. And man, RNG, I just don't know what else to say about how far they have dominated this game so far. Every neutral objective, every turret, 9-5 in kills is the closest metric you can measure the game by, but it's still a 7,000 gold diff, Raz.
And this is just a new look towards RNG2, with Xiaohu back into the mid lane and Xiaobai playing a game at all this year.
Yeah, let's not forget, this is the sub-top laner, throw the top laner into mid lane, let our mid laner take a break game. As Ming gets stunned into the wall, Gala's falling back, Praedyth losing most of his HP here instantly, but it's Ming who dies. Praedyth staying alive, flashes the emote at him, lets him know, hey, we can punish you guys still. RNG does have all 4 remaining players in the enemy jungle. Realm Warp going through. Xiaobai, he goes in for the Mega Gnar into the wall with a follow-up coming through from Xiaohu, working together. And there's your kill with the overload as Decoy goes over the wall. Gala's in some trouble with the exhaust coming down. But trouble only finds its way onto whoever RNG set their sights on. What looked like an initial good play and a 1-for-0 for Pentanet turns into a 3-for-1 the other way. RNG with all 4 remaining players still alive.
Oh, no.
Xiaohu's going in. Rune Prison into the Everfrost. I hope you didn't like moving because you ain't doing it no more. Ace for RNG, and they'll break the base before 20 minutes.
I wonder, we asked the question last time if this was going to be a Dancing Herald. I think it's too early in the game for them to want to do this with the Death Timers, but they're going to try it anyways.
Well, here comes Praedyth, here comes Biopanther, here comes Decoy. Shelly's going to get the first Nexus turret, but she will perish. No Dancing Herald.
Imagine a speedrun when you're trying to chase your own damn timer. That's
it's like
RNG.
Did you ever play like Crash Team Racing, like Crash Bandicoot Racing
Yes,
on
I loved
PlayStation,
it.
the time trial mode where you could race against your own ghost that you set the record for on that track, that's what this is. They're racing against their own ghost to beat the track faster.
Or Usain Bolt in another Olympic going for a 100-meter dash, and he's trying to beat himself and then the runner-up himself.
Yes, be like, okay, which one of me am I going to try to beat this time?
And it's just that kind of level that we're at here with RNG. As you could tell, it's legendary there for Xiaohu on his Ryze. And just, you're right, you know, they thought that they got another pick. It was already a great first pick from Pentanet, and it was Biopanther, who was trying to cut through the jungle, gets caught out there, and then they thought that they get the pick on towards Kaisa, and Kaisa has Gale Force and her ultimate to be extra defensive. Not going to happen. So an excellent response there from RNG to just slap that away.
RNG with a 10,000 gold lead, with an 8-kill lead, with an enemy inhibitor down, and it's 20 minutes into the game. They also have the ability to play for Soul here in just over 2 minutes. And Pentanet, when you're looking at the scores, 3 kills onto Biopanther. He is 3-3, the only person to have equal kills with deaths on this team. But an Urgot alone, Raz, is not able to deal with threats like Ryze and Kaisa that are this far ahead.
He really isn't. There's just way too much utility that's going to keep him down. And too much burst. Even looking at how well and far ahead right now Gala is here, and we saw how he was able to use his Gale Force defensively. Being able to pick up the Collector, I mean, right now they're just going to choose their target. I know that it's a single focused target composition from Pentanet. RNG can just blow you up. Doesn't matter who you are with how much of a lead they have this game. So, yeah, don't get caught out next time. I think Pentanet, we're doing a great job at realizing...
boy.
Oh, no.
They just throw Ming in there alone. He gets yeeted back over the wall, but it don't matter. Better to be yeeted than to be deleted. Gala's on a killing spree, and Decoy will be the next one in his sights. Tries to get another headbutt over the wall, but it don't matter none. Killer instinct, true to its name. Oh, Pentanet is not long for this world. They are not long for this game. You'll see Biopanther try to distract as long as he can, clear out some waves, drag these guys away, just buy time. But time is pretty expensive in a game like this. RNG taking care of the second Nexus turret, only Chazz left standing. And with their win here, RNG will have a perfect run through this first stage of groups. They'll pad the stats a little bit harder. Chazz and Decoy both running away with about 100 HP left. And RNG 19-8. Double kill back over to the Ryze. A little bit more required to end this game right here, right now. There it is. Triple kill for Xiaohu. It's all done. RNG with the perfect record here in this group stage. And my friends, we are heading to a tiebreaker.
Instantly from RNG, slap that hand lotion, the sanitizer, because that was some dirty play. That was some wild stuff we just saw. As they're moving on to the next stage, enemy team's going to be looking back at this game and say, what information can we even extrapolate? They ain't using Xiaobai again. Like, maybe they do in a game that doesn't matter, but Xiaohu is their top laner, Krine is their experienced mid. Like, at the end of the day, that's not their lineup that they showed. So for the side of Pentanet, don't just forget the game even happened, dog. Look at the next one. You have to take on